It's the second half of our Fight Club. I promise the video won't just end abruptly like last time. Today we have Mighty Finey Fight for the NES. Let's jump right into it. It's a Capcom game, so this means good things await. Probably. The bottom area gives us some backstory, but the text kinda just crawls by, and something about hyphenating the word radiates just feels weird. Since they weren't using a graphic with the text, I kinda wish they would have just put it up all at once. This guy talks about having fallen in love with some girl, and then Mayor Mike Hagar is flipping out because the girl, Jessica, has been taken. It's his daughter or something. Does the story sound familiar? Well, it should, because it's the same story as Final Fight the arcade game, which was released in 1989. The arcade game started out as a sequel to Street Fighter, but as its development led it to become a beat-em-up instead of a one-on-one fighter, it went its own way. However, Street Fighter and Final Fight characters ended up crossing over into each other's franchises as time went on. Since we are here to talk about the NES game, let's not get too deep into all the sequels. Mighty Final Fight is a retelling of the arcade game's story in a chibi, cute, comical style. Sorta. I suspect adapting the arcade game to the NES was going to be way too challenging and likely not possible without scaling down the characters and graphics to the point that it wouldn't be enjoyable. So they found a way to get it onto the NES such that it still allowed the player to enjoy the experience and was different enough from the arcade game that it does not feel like a watered-down version of the arcade game. You could play both games and have two separate yet fun experiences. Character selection. Super digging the music, by the way. We get to choose between Cody, who is Jessica's boyfriend, Guy, who is Cody's buddy and training partner, and Sammy Hagar. Just kidding. It's the mayor, who is also Jessica's father. The bad guys messed up if they kidnapped the mayor's daughter, and the mayor just happens to be willing to assault criminals. Have they never seen Taken? The things dads will do for their daughters. I'd make a joke about Hagar's campaign slogans, but I don't want him coming after me. The mayor has a sizable health bar, but he moves a bit slow for my taste, and I've already made too many Liam Neeson references. I like the combination of Cody, a street tough, and Guy, a disciplined ninja type. Reminds me of Mugen and Jean from Samurai Champloo. Guy has some really quick and cool moves, but since we are rescuing Cody's girlfriend, it only makes sense to pick him. I wouldn't want to be responsible for Jessica getting with Guy because Cody was too lazy or busy to rescue her. The first stage is the slum. Cody has a cool uppercut move that reminds me of a Street Fighter Shoryuken. Instead of asking around for the location of Jessica, we instead fight citizens in an area of downtown, with hotel rooms and sales going on. Maybe there's a sale on beef. One of these bad guys has hair that reminds me of Cell Dweller. Kind of makes sense because both Cell Dweller and this game have awesome music. In the bottom it shows our level meter and an experience tracker. As you beat bad guys, you get more EXP. We move into the next stage where we blast through the door. The movie is now open in case anybody wanted to see it. Beat this bad guy and we level up to the next bar segment. We finish off bleached Rocky Balboa wannabe, and then this creepy dude lets us fall to the ground. What a jerk. Then he asks us a bunch of questions about if we know who he is, or if we want to join him before we have to fight him. His name is Thrasher, but a better name would have been Jumper. Take him out and we are all set for stage 2, Riverside. It's a pretty nice place, actually, with benches to rest, and love is on the wall, but keep out of the grass. We got some bad guys again, but nothing we can't handle. This one dude looks like he's in a Devo cosplay, but he's actually got knives. Doesn't he know the song is Whip It, not Stab It? We level up again, and the next area has parking available. The benches are looking worse, and we continue to be assaulted by everybody, including this lady who is dressed up like a magician's assistant. I actually game over here, but we apparently have 3 continues, and it takes us back to the character select screen. Awesome. So I think I will switch to Guy now since Cody got us started. We do have to start the level from the beginning, but at least it didn't reset our experience level all the way back to 1. Make my way through the level as Guy, and this time another member from Devo wants to throw knives at me and fly through the air while teaming up on me with one of his groupies, and then the groupie's boyfriend shows up. And it's at this point I'm starting to realize that I am having a lot of fun. The combo attacks are so satisfying to pull off. The stage boss is a Shredder wannabe. He talks a lot of smack initially, and then he wants to defend his totally awesome fighter sidewalk graffiti. We beat him, play a game of Punch the Metal Barrels, and then we are off to Old Town. Old Town seems to be missing chunks of road. This would be bad if we were driving, but considering we are fighting, we can launch dudes down there. Yeah. And this one guy goes off screen, then does his spinning attack right into the pit. Totally awesome. Make our way inside someone's residence without a warrant and we fight the occupants. For an old town, the building seems more like a manor or castle. Candles on the wall are making me think of Castlevania, but I am still having a ton of fun. We then go from the library to the 3-mirror room where I get to fight a set of siblings over who gets to have more mirrors. I want to feel like I'm getting fitted for a suit, and you two dweebs are making that difficult for me to do. The stage boss is a punch-out dropout, a Podo, who must have lost to Glass Joe and now works for the bad guys of this game. We beat the boss and then we are off to a factory. I wonder if it's located downtown. And what does the factory make? Peaches? Millions of peaches? For me? No, not really. I get to keep fighting the same gang members I have been the entire game, but this time we are right outside C-57. I know it might still look like exactly more of the same, but that's exactly what it is, and it's very enjoyable. But when you find the Califop, be sure to also keep out. That's the trade name for the C-57, I presume. In the background are twin 1-0 buildings. The lights make me think they're having a party over there. Maybe it's a peach cobbler competition? Clear that section and Guy decides to kneel down by a giant hole for some reason, and of course a gang member knocks him down into an elevator stage, and we get to toss ninja stars at the bad guys. Yes, this is awesome. This elevator section is incredibly enjoyable. It's probably my favorite part of the game. Get the bad guys close to the edge and you can just knock them off. Yeah! Get out of here! We finally make it to the bottom of the elevator where Fujiyama Geisha is playing. Classic film. It's about a bar whose hours are 10 a.m. to open, which it both never closes and is only open instantaneously at 10 o'clock for about a minute. Look at these bar patrons. They're too focused on whatever is going on in there to watch these dudes just fighting outside. We get the stage boss who says Jessica has already been taken or moved. Jessica? Who is that again? Oh yeah, it's the girl we are supposed to be saving. I was having so much fun beating up 8-bit sprites, I forgot we are trying to save Cody's girlfriend and Sammy Hagar's daughter. Anyway, this is another Shredder wannabe and he wants revenge for his brother's defeat. After he loses enough health, he drops his weapons and then starts dashing at us. I actually lose a few lives this way, but I am able to get his health down further using my special attack. Once he's down and out, we get another bonus stage of barrel punches, and then we are off to Baravea, wherever that's supposed to be. Turns out it's a marina, and we are fighting alongside a giant yacht. Is this supposed to be their secret hideout? Pretty large for a secret hideout, wouldn't you say? But it is mobile. I wonder if they listen to yacht rock whenever they're just hanging out. We then have another fight with the Stage 3 boss. Not my favorite. It's tough to get in close and do some of these attacks. We finally beat him and the next section has a nice pool and sun chairs and parasols. The perspective now is such that we must be on the ship, in which case I think I do want one of those delicious meats. Hold the fork and knife. I'll use my hands. Then we fight a third wannabe Shredder, although this iteration doesn't provide nearly as much smack talk. Just like his predecessor, he also loses his weapons and does this cheap charge attack. Once we beat him, we are taken inside to the boss for the final fight. Hey, maybe that's where the name comes from. Beat on him some, and then he says, "Final victory will be mine." He shoots projectiles that take a considerable amount of damage when they make contact. I can get in close a few times, but then he starts to launch himself back and forth, and I'm not sure how to get in and attack him. Then I get a game over. Well, no, I am not having any of that. I am beating this game today. With some practice, I can get in and give him some damage, but these projectiles are making that pretty difficult to do. With even more practice, we eventually finally deliver the kick that defeats the boss. Guy then walks off screen and Mayor Hagar comes in to meet with his daughter. Jessica asks where Cody is, and then we can see that Guy is holding him back. Pretty silly. And in the background we can see a Capcom billboard with Mega Man's face. Cool. It's the same ending if you beat it with Cody or Hagar. Having made it through this one, I can say it's a pretty fun beat 'em up. It's challenging without being brutal. The choice of characters is fair, and each have their own quirks. The bosses can be a bit aggravating, but what's a good beat 'em up with easy bosses? I appreciate the continues and the opportunities to regenerate health. I would have liked to have seen more weapons. Maybe they're there and I just missed them. But that's going to bring an end to our Fight Club. Thanks for tuning in. See you next time.
What? This is the worst fight club ever. And you know what? I really wanted to see Sammy Hagar. Not this mightily finey fight or whatever this is called. You know what this is? It's a disaster. I gotta stop that Nindeviled.